Next head coach to be fired this season, Brian Flores of the Miami Dolphins. Initially, when I heard about this one, I was surprised.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, one day after they beat the Patriots to finish the season 9-8, it marked his second consecutive winning season in Miami. They were 10-6 in 2020, so they did drop a bit. But if a winning record's a winning record, you really
Yeah,
can't complain too much about that. They did not make the playoffs, unfortunately for them. In Flores' 3 years as a head coach. He went 24-25 in Miami,
yep,
so a fairly average overall record. After a 1-7 start, the Dolphins would win 7 straight somehow before a blowout Week 17 loss to the Titans ended their playoff hopes. And one other thing, when initially, like I said, I thought this was kind of surprising, but then reading some stuff after the fact about the way things were
yeah,
with the team and the way that he apparently behaved with players, and a lot of players. It said some players respected him and liked him, and some just really didn't. It didn't seem like they had a good thing going on there. So I think it was a lot more than maybe they had a decent record, but there was other things going on in there that
yeah,
just didn't make it work.
yeah. Apparently, his relationship, from what I've heard with Tua, was really strained, and they had a couple of like blow up situations where they were, where Flores was dropping like f bombs at Tua and telling him that he like fucking needs to play better and all
Oh
that.
yeah,
So
that's never good.
yeah, so I mean, I guess he was like kind of like abusive to Tua or whatever, and but yeah, I mean, like you said, some players definitely went to bat for him. So I wonder, like if maybe that was players on the defensive side of the ball since he's a defensive oriented guy or what.
Hmm.
But
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's a limit to that, or a certain decorum in the NFL. Like, there's the one thing getting guys pumped up, but like, if it's the point of degrading them and just cussing them out, it's like, well,
yeah,
you know,
and I mean, Tua's young at this point. He's only in his second season,
yeah,
so it's
exactly.
like
You
you're
can't be
gonna
doing that with, maybe if it's like a 33-year-old vet who
you're
loves it.
gonna
It's like,
you're
all
gonna
right,
break a
maybe
young
go
man's
for it, but
psyche, before it even
yeah.
before it even starts. But yeah,
So he probably got himself fired, because of his behavior, not necessarily his record on the field.
it's a power struggle. It's a power struggle down there in Miami,
Yeah.
and they decided to go with Tua. Tua's the future, so they're going with that.
Yep. Hopefully it works for them. I
Yeah,
mean,
hopefully.
maybe he'll develop better, get better and better, but
Yeah, yeah,
they have done decent the last 2 years. So
yeah, yeah. This
they,
one,
they
go ahead.
I was just say they should stick with him given the record that they've had, the records they've had in the last 2 years. They may as well.
I would have thought so. I mean, it kind of like it kind of seems to me like maybe a Jim Caldwell situation in Detroit. I know I've mentioned that before, where he went 9-7 in back-to-back years, and Detroit fired him, and then they hired Matt Patricia, and then they've since hired Dan Campbell, who I
Right,
like Dan
right.
Campbell, but it's just
I
like
like him
he's
as
he's
well.
obviously he's got a lot of work to do to rebuild things there in Detroit, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean the interesting thing about Flores too is he's already being interviewed for the Giants job.